What is going on, my friends? Let's go check out a whole bunch of the Stranger Things filming locations that are here in Albuquerque. I know that they did film a whole bunch in Georgia and of course Netflix Studios. There is some pretty cool locations from season 4 of Stranger Things that are filmed here in Albuquerque, guys, including the skate rink and the Byers house. So you know what? Let's go check them out. Alright guys, we're right here at the corner of Montgomery and Sunset Canyon. And if you guys recognize this house, this is the Byers house from season 4 of Stranger Things. A lot of it's supposed to be, I'm pretty sure majority of it's supposed to be taking place in California, but it's not. It's here in Albuquerque. And this house was a really popular Airbnb. The owners of it, this house just sold. I believe it just sold a couple months ago. So I'm not sure if it's still an Airbnb, but it was a really popular Airbnb. And I guess they had themed it to 80s style with some games, arcade games, and Stranger Things theming. So that's pretty cool. So that way it was like themed to the show. And it was a really popular Airbnb, but I'm pretty sure it just sold within the last year. You know, it looks like there's construction workers working on it, you know, so I'm really not sure if it's an Airbnb. We're gonna have to look it up. But for a while, since the show right after season 4 had came out, they had turned it into an Airbnb and it was really popular. That would have been really cool for us to do. If it's still an Airbnb in the future, we're gonna have to definitely check it out and stay there when the channel's bigger, guys. That would be so dope. But I really don't know. We're gonna have to find that out. You know, it'd be a bummer if it wasn't anymore. Yeah, but this is where Will's house was, the Byers house, you know, where they filmed on the inside and outside, exterior shots and interior shots. So freaking dope. So that would have been pretty cool to stay there when it was an Airbnb. Well, I'm gonna have to look into it. Maybe it still is. I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, we're here at Snow Heights Park, over off of Indian School, in between Moon and Eubank. If you guys are looking for it, and if you guys remember this is from season 4, episode 9 of Stranger Things. You can see where 11 is walking down the ditch, and you can get the shot of the school behind her. And there's the mountains, there's the sandias. I wonder if you can see the sandias in the picture. I can't remember, I have to look that up. But there's a scene where you can see 11 from this direction, and you can see the school behind her. And there's another scene where she's looking in this direction, and I'm pretty sure she sees Max skateboarding in the ditch. And then there's another scene where she's looking up at this bridge right here, and the upside down appears behind it, all like the upside down storm. It's pretty cool. Yeah, right now we actually got some snow last night. That's why there's a little bit of water in the ditch. It's not too bad, you know, but we got some snow last night, so that's why the sandias have a little bit of snow in them. We probably got like 2 or 3 inches, you know, but it's not too bad. But see, there's people playing in the snow and stuff. It's cool. But this is the park, guys, from Stranger Things. If you guys want to come and check it out, there's also a basketball court right next to it. Big old playground, big old park. All right, but let's head to another location. Alright guys, now we're over here kind of tucked behind Wantabo and the freeway. This is I-40, you know, and it's a little bit tucked back behind these hotels, but this is the skate rink from Stranger Things season 4, Skateomania. I'm pretty sure in Stranger Things it was called Rinkomania, you know, and if you grew up here in Albuquerque, you know, then this is formerly Roller King. You know, we all grew up with this skate rink as Roller King. You know, we used to come here every single year for elementary school because, believe it or not, skating was still really big back when I was in elementary school. You know, so our elementary school, we would come here every single year for a field trip, and we would also come here for, field trips for the YMCA, because I was in the YMCA for the summer, me and my brother. But every year for Inez, we would have a field trip over here to Roller King, and then we would also have another one in the summer for YMCA. And me and my brother also had one of our birthday parties here at Roller King, back when it was Roller King. I'm still so used to calling it Roller King because that's how we grew up with, but it's Skateomania. I definitely want to get a pair of rollerblades and come back. I never learned how to roller skate, you know. I was always a rollerblader, you know, so me and my brother had rollerblades, and we'd come here, you know, every year, multiple times. You know, and they have an arcade in there. They have a food court. And I remember for birthday parties, they had like this tornado tunnel they'd put you in, and you'd win prizes from the tornado tunnel. But it was so freaking cool, guys. And it's a dope skate rink. It's a dope skating rink in there, guys. It was always fun coming to Roller King back in the day. So that's something we're gonna have to do in the future, is come back to Skateomania, maybe do some skating. I'm gonna have to get some rollerblades though. I haven't had rollerblades in ages, like I think since like elementary school. You know, I don't think I've been here since probably 5th grade. I think it was closed for a while, but before it changed from Roller King, I want to say when it was Roller King, it had closed, you know, and then it got retaken over and reopened as Skateomania. So I'm so glad that it's open. I can't remember how long it was closed for, if it was, you know, if it was just automatically taken over. you know, but I'm so glad that we still have a skate rink here in town. So many awesome memories from Roller King, which is now Skateomania, and it's so awesome that they used it for Stranger Things, guys, because there's not that many skating rinks left, I'm sure, you know, but it's cool that we have one here in Albuquerque. So if you grew up here in Albuquerque, you know it is Roller King, you know, and if you guys come here, it's Skateomania, and it's just right over here off of the freeway, and this is Wantabo, and you just gotta turn down when you go down Copper, go down Paisano, I want to say that was the street, and then you just follow it down back here behind the hotels, and you'll be able to find it, guys, you know. But let me know down in the comments, should we come back and skate, you know, should I get some rollerblades? Oh, that'd be fun. Alright guys, and we also got a few more locations that we didn't get a chance to stop by because it kind of would have been a little bit of a trek to get there, but they are around the Albuquerque area. And of course, one that we can't forget is the Surfer Boy Pizza. That's actually in Los Lunas, New Mexico. You know, so if you're going south on I-25, a little bit past Albuquerque, you'll get there in about, I don't know, less than half an hour. It's really close, you know, but Surfer Boy's Pizza is actually Alberto's Mexican food, you know, our Mexican restaurant, you know, so that's a place we're gonna have to check out in the future, Alberto's. I'm pretty sure the interior still looks pretty much exactly the same. Of course, it doesn't have the signage. Well, who knows? I haven't been there. You know, maybe there'll be some kind of remnants of the Surfer Boy Pizza signs inside or outside, just like kind of how the Twisters for Breaking Bad still embraces the Pollos Hermanos. Hopefully, that'd be pretty cool. So let us know. Should we go check out the Surfer Boy Pizza or the Alberto's Mexican food restaurant in Los Lunas? Because that's another location that we didn't get a chance to see. You know, it's not too far of a drive. It's just, it is like at least, you know, half an hour or so on the freeway, you know, that we'd have to get out there. But let us know if we should check out the Surfer Boy Pizza filming location, so that way we can see if there's any remnants of it left. There's also another location called the Whiting Bros gas station. That's over out in like Moriarty. And Moriarty's probably, if you're going on I-40 east, it's probably, I don't know, probably half an hour or so going down I-40 east. But there's nothing really out there, so we weren't really going to head out there for just for the gas station. If it was a better spot, then we would stop. But it is an honorable mention spot here in New Mexico for Stranger Things Season 4. It would have been pretty cool to check it out, but we'll see if it still looks the same. Maybe next time when we go out to Moriarty, we could at least stop by it and check it out. You know, same with Los Lunas, and we could check out the Alberto's Mexican food, so we could see if there's any kind of remnants of, you know, just from filming, or just see if things look the same, so that way you guys can check it out too. And another spot that was here in Albuquerque, well, on the south end of Albuquerque, is Montesa Park. If you guys remember the scene after they finally flee the house, the Byers house, and they go and Argyle freaks out in the middle of the desert, you know, that spot where they're hanging out in the desert is Montesa Park. It's a spot where a lot of people go to, like, off-road, you know, they go and they ride their Jeeps and their big old off-road vehicles, ATVs and stuff. And back in the day, people used to go and, you know, test their firearms out there. I guess that's I don't know what the way YouTube would want me to say it, but they'd go and they'd test their firearms out there because there's walls of dirt and stuff like that, you know. But so usually Montesa out there, it's usually people doing that, so you guys got to be careful. And it's also off-roaders, you know, so if you're ever checking out Montesa Park, it's on the south end of Albuquerque, going south on I-25 like towards Los Lunas, you know, and it will be on your left-hand side if you're driving south on I-25. Yeah, but just be careful going out there, because it's usually people, you know, testing their firearms or off-roading, you know, so no matter what. But that's where Argyle flips out, you know, because he needs to calm down. That's where Argyle kind of flips out, you know, where they're hanging out in the desert after fleeing the Byers house because of what just happened over there. There's still, I guess, a couple more places that we need to check out. If you guys want us to go see Montesa Park so you guys can see that spot, or if you guys want us to go to Moriarty or to Los Lunas to see the Surfer Boy Pizza, let us know down in the comments, guys, because we could always go check it out. That way we could all see together if it still kind of looks similar, if it has any remnants of filming or any kind of signage, you know, of a Surfer Boy Pizza. That would be pretty dope. But let us know down in the comments, guys. Another filming location that I totally spaced and we forgot to talk about, and I didn't really want to film there because it's a high school, is El Dorado High School. It's over there on the corner of Montgomery and Wantabo, guys, but that is the school that Eleven goes to. Unfortunately, she gets bullied at because of those mean kids, you know, but that is the school that Eleven attends. You know, it's supposed to be in California, but that is El Dorado High School at the corner of Montgomery and Wantabo. Of course, you don't really want to go film around a high school. What kind of weirdo films around schools, you know, and I didn't want to go and like trespass on the weekends, you know, but El Dorado High School, if you guys just want to pass by, I don't suggest going onto the property. You know, who wants to go on a school property? You know, it's a weird thing to do nowadays. You don't want to be a weirdo filming around a school, and you don't want to be trespassing on a school grounds, you know. But El Dorado High School is the filming location from Stranger Things. You know, it's where Eleven was attending school. You know, that courtyard, if you could see, because they're the El Dorado Eagles, you could see the eagle sign on the courtyard, you know. But that courtyard is there in El Dorado, guys. But of course, we didn't want to film there. That's kind of a weird thing to do. Alright, my friends, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this Stranger Things filming location video. If you haven't yet and you're new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and kick it with us more often. We're also working on a Breaking Bad filming locations video, of course, Better Call Saul. We got a whole bunch more fun stuff coming. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.